Say my Yegun diary, it dey hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street, they hawk. Still them talk, say, make we no talk. But thank God, say, my Yegun don't come. So my people make you laugh. Oh, yo, yo, my Yegun don't come. Oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout. Oh, yo, yo, my Yegun don't come. Oh, yo, yo. My Yegun don't come, man of the masses. Oh, yo, yo. My Yegun don't come. Oh, yo, yo. My Yegun diary politico. Oh, yo, yo. My Yegun don't come. Oh, yo, yo. This man not the Mayegun la wa mo la mo do 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 do. Mayegun diary, hello there. Mayegun la wa mo la mo do 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 do. Mayegun diary, Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará yìí. Mayegun diary, lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live.
Mayegun diary politico.
This evening, all of us on this platform, we are supposed to be sitting with Tinubu, because in the camp of Tinubu right now, Osinbajo is a betrayer. Remember that cap they made for me from Nigeria, the one I rejected from wearing? I think we should be sitting with Tinubu tonight.
Ani esunraki. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú esunraki.
Share the broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends. This evening, I am imploring you to please invite the Buharidins, the Buhari Diderins, the Buhari Denotus, the Buhari Dijatus, the Buhari Shukus, the Ungoziaris, the Unnekaharis, the obedient fools, the sophisticated morons, the humbled slaves. Tag their uncles and aunties abroad. The Abroadian premium Buhari idiots. The Mumu Madus. The Bele lecturers. The Mumu lecturers. If you have enough time on your plate, please tag all of them who are also the Lagos Abobakus, the Oshogbo Alimajiris, the social media bandits, the Facebook adsmen. Tell them that what they said would never happen, don't happen. And we are going to be sitting down with Tinubu because he can't really stand. Share the broadcast.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú esunraki. Ani esunraki.
It's yet to be better. It's yet to move.
Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú esunraki.
Without wasting much of your time, my friends, the brethren, on the Temple of Truth tonight, it is no longer breaking news. After months of denial, after the hide and seek game, after the desperation that they pushed Tinubu to take in January by rushing down to Old Rock, the old people's home, to inform the oldest tenant there, Bokwari, all those desperation, all of the effort to ensure that every little foothold that Tinubu was trying to build here and there, posturing himself towards 2023, that everything is completely neutralized. Because Osinbajo Ikene Shatabandu fake Pastor Ruga, the special advisor to Boko Haram on burial arrangement and condolences visits, he was going to run. It's part of the game. Tinubu will not be president. Osinbajo fake Pastor Ruga will not be president. But we are going to address the audacity, the denial, the lies that Osinbajo represents. And the reason why, as we demystified Tinubu's den of thieves called Bodilon politics, progressives politics, the politics of shop, I shop, rob my back, I rob your back, rig and rob the people, and then present yourselves as the messiahs. Progressives politics. All of that, we've done that on Tinubu already. Tinubu is finished. It is just a matter of weeks now. Many of you are going to come back here and agree that Tinubu is what? Is completely finished. The last resort is going to always have, which is also going to be taken away, is Lagos. He kind of knows how to use Lagos to negotiate when the box and the heat is coming from everywhere. But what is he going to use to negotiate when the heat is coming from within? That is the showdown that I am going to advise all of you to pay attention to ordinarily on social media. When you see the Ruga pastor, the Rugarians, that is the name we are going to give to the Osinbajo's Vuvuzelas. The Rugarians, or being that the Rugarians, in the background, they said Tinubu is old, weak, demented, and wait for it to, and selfish. For daring to even come out. But on social media, the Lagos Abobakus, the Oshogbo Alumajiris, the humbled slaves, obedient fools, and sophisticated morons, they are seeing Osinbajo. They are now seeing the Rugarians as betrayers. Why the Rugarians are seeing the Lagos Abobakus as slaves to Atole. Now, this is within. To them, it can be handled. That was before now. The new thing they are now creating, the impression they are now creating, before they start this impression. So when we said that Pastor Ruga was going to contest against Tinubu, they said it's impossible in public. But in private, then they drag themselves for blocos. They drag all of them blocos everywhere. Everybody scream. Believing that Osinbajo will never declare. That's going to be an insult. The rumor came as far back as July 2021. And it became real in December 2021. So Tinubu, who was initially planning an elaborate declaration, Tinubu had to shorten it, brought it forward, and rushed down into us old rock to say, Bokuwari, remember our agreement. After you, now me, what is going on? I'm going to contest. I'm very healthy now. Remember the last time we met in London? Now the same doctor where they treat you, they treat me. Now the same, you know what I mean? So they had to force a kingmaker, the Jaga bandit, to go to us old rock to go and declare, sitting down like a lost, old, demented great-grandfather. It was because of Osinbajo. Few days after that, Osinbajo flew down to Lagos. They said they wanted to dispel rumor. Now, last night, Osinbajo invited all the 12 APC governors to tell them he was going to contest for president. And he has already received the blessing of Bokuwari. When Tinubu went to Bokuwari, he gave him his blessing. Osinbajo went to him, he gave him his blessing. But Osinbajo took it a little bit further. First, he briefed Bokuwari. Second, he briefed Pastor Adeboye of Redeemed Church. And third, he decided to brief the governors. So when the invitation went out, Sanwo-Iku in Lagos received the invitation. It was meant to be a coded invitation to Abuja where Osinbajo will present himself and all that. And nobody should know about it, so that the following day, Osinbajo will declare. It was Sanwo-Iku who quickly alerted Jaga bandit Tinubu about the meeting. And Tinubu moved immediately to beat Osinbajo to that. But sadly, the governors went to see Osinbajo last night. And this morning, after he's already prepared his recorded message, he decided to tell all of you that he and Buhari, they have done so well. They say Osinbajo no get base. They said he won't be able to win 50 votes in the delegates. Some of you are sleeping on it. You have no idea what they have turned your Nigeria into. If time permits me, I may take a bit of a dive into that. But let's continue. There is not going to be any primary election in APC. There is never going to be any delegates choosing or fighting or voting for this and that in APC. They are going to use consensus. The same thing they did during their own convention. They've already sent the circular to Tinubu. As you are watching this video, Tinubu knows that his presidential ambition for 2023 is already dead. It is just like a battery. From 100%, he is only clinging on to something around 30%, which is still substantial to last him for the next few weeks. Then he will run out of that battery. And all of you will now come to that time. You begin to talk about those who betrayed him. They did not betray him. He betrayed Yoruba land. And he used foot soldiers like Yemi Osinbajo to betray Yoruba land. Under the APC, Egbekegbe, Yoruba people became poorer. Yoruba land became further underdeveloped. Yes. And to worsen it, Yoruba land became more unsafe under them. So they failed Yoruba people. Do not. Because you're going to say that in the next few weeks. How people betrayed him. Nobody betrayed him. He betrayed Yoruba land. So Osinbajo, you said he didn't have any base. Some of you are not that smart, by the way. So what the camp of Tinubu are now saying to console themselves, wait for it to. After Osinbajo declared, they are now saying, Tinubu is a master strategist. Wait for it to. Master strategist. Maybe he's not even contesting for president. Maybe he is actually trying to stop others from contesting so that Osinbajo will now come and contest. And Tinubu will now withdraw for him. That is from the camps of the Rugarians, the camps of Pastor Ruga, the camp of Pastor Ruga. to the camp of Tinubu. They believe that Pastor Ruga, in public, that's what they tell themselves. In public, they say Pastor Ruga is only contesting so as to create enough chance for Tinubu. When they get close to the primaries, Pastor Ruga will just withdraw and he will just give Tinubu his delegates and Tinubu will just win. All of this just to make themselves feel good. How many of you remember when I told you that it is not what you and I are saying, it is not what we are doing, the sensitization and the rest of that, it is not that will stop or destroy Tinubu politically. That will be the later thing. That he will believe that I will fall back on my people, they will save me. Then by the time he's falling down from that his political selfish arrangement, is just going to land on the floor, scatter, worse than you can imagine. That is what we are doing. It is not what we are saying, It is not Mayegun. Mayegun, why are you always opposing Tinubu? Why are you not supporting this? No, whether I support them or I oppose them, that's not what we destroy them. They will destroy themselves. Do you understand? They will destroy themselves. It is going to be the aftermath of when they destroy themselves that we must make sure that they never use us. They never use Yoruba land. They never use Yoruba name. They never use Yoruba people to get back on their feet again. That is our own job. But to destroy themselves, they will destroy themselves. How they will destroy themselves is the picture you already have on your screen. So the Tinubu, Lagos, Abobaku, they are consoling themselves that Osinbajo will step down. They have no idea. But you see, within themselves, Baba, not tear down. Meanwhile, Osinbajo, that they just want to make sure that he is a perfect person to use in cutting Tinubu to sizes completely and get rid of the man. And then they can deal with the rest of all of those political imagery from Yoruba land. Do you understand? There is a tape. And don't be surprised. In the next coming days, in the next coming weeks, you may come across a tape where Pastor Ruga was talking to some people about becoming the next president when Buhari dies. So that when they confirm that Buhari is dead, how he's going to change and sack some people who don't respect him in Buhari's government, that they don't respect him. They don't, every time he's there, it's just like an houseboy. He was saying that he didn't know that they were recording him. And he said, once Buhari is dead, that was the time Buhari was in London, and Pastor Ruga was the acting president in Nigeria. So in the next few days, if Mayegun just say, the tape don't land, are you with me? Make all of them just gather. Say, Mayegun, where the tape? Play him. They say Pastor Ruga was talking when he was acting president with some trusted aides, just like normal chats, talking about the government, talking about the country. So Pastor Ruga was now complaining that people don't respect him, that Buhari's ministers, they don't respect him. Nobody even the National Assembly, they don't see him as anything. Look at it now. If the president doesn't survive this sickness, if Buhari dies now, he is going to be the president. So when he becomes the president, won't they all come to him now? So they recorded him. And the tape is with Malamu. In the next few days, few weeks or months, then go play him. All of us go hear him. But before then, now so all of us wake up this morning, where Pastor Ruga just woke us up with lies when he said he wants to succeed Bokuwari in order to build on the legacy of Bokuwari. Legacy of Bokuwari. Here I am.
Dear Nigerians, for the past 7 years, I have served as Vice President under a true Nigerian patriot, a servant of the nation in war and peace, and a man of integrity, President Muhammadu Buhari. We have, together, worked through some of the most difficult times in the history of our nation. But we have remained focused on securing the country on providing infrastructure and growing our economy. As stipulated by the Nigerian Constitution, our tenure will end next year. In this period of 7 years, I have served the government in several capacities, and I have, at the direction of Mr. President, represented our country in sensitive, high-level international engagements. I've been to practically all local governments in Nigeria. I've been in markets, in factories, in schools, and farms. I've been in agricultural, mining, and oil-producing communities, in the Delta, in Kebbi, in Enugu, in Borno, in Rivers, in Plateau and Ondo, and in all other states of the Federation, listening to the diverse experiences and yearnings of our people. I've visited our gallant troops in the Northeast and our brothers and sisters in the IDP camps. I've felt the pain and anguish of victims in violent conflicts, terrorist attacks, flooding, fire, and other disasters. I've been in the homes of many ordinary Nigerians in various parts of the country. I have sat with our techpreneurs in Lagos, Edo, and Kaduna, with our Nollywood and Kannywood actors, with our musicians from Lagos, Onitsha, and Kano, and I've spoken to small and large businesses. I stood where they stood, and I sat where they sat. I know their hopes and aspirations, and their
Osinbajo is talking like he is not the current vice president of Nigeria. I've been everywhere. I know their issue. I know this. We are going to break all of that down. So I made them no rush you. Because some of you, one person not they speak, pray. They catch feelings. And some of you are already lying to yourselves. He's just a vice president now. Mayegun, let's tell ourselves the truth now. He's just a vice president. He cannot really do anything. Is that what you are telling yourselves? Because that's what some of you are telling yourselves. That's it. But that is not true. You see, these rogues, they said Bokwari was going to undo security. Pastor Ruga was going to undo the economy. So which means the economy affects you, security affects you, division of labor. Let us check on Pastor Ruga, Ikene Shatabandu, Agbowori Baba Oja. Nigeria received Nigeria received over $70 billion. No, let's put it this way. Pre-2015, foreign direct investment into Nigeria was put at somewhere over $200 billion. Nigeria wasn't rich. But your poor or poverty wasn't this bad. You can all testify to that. Because you could still find a job and your economy wasn't so shrunk like you have it right now. So what happened? Bokwari happened. Pastor Ruga happened. Pastor Ruga decided and they made him the chairman of the economic team. The team to put together policies, economic policies, ideas, finance and fundings for this and that to create jobs and all of that. Pastor Ruga was in charge. Let me save you the breath of that. In 7 years, more than 70 million Nigerians became jobless. From a paltry figure of, well, it's not paltry anyway, 13.5 million in 2015. After 7 years, Pastor Ruga as the chairman of the Economic Council of Nigeria. People lost their jobs. 70% of Nigerian businesses shut down. Unemployment skyrocketed. I mean, that is under them. They blame everyone but themselves. The Nigeria dipped into indebtedness. Nigeria naira crashed. Inflation jumped from 6% to 27% in 7 years. Nigeria debt jumped from 13.5 trillion. What am I even saying? From 13 trillion to what they have now told us as 45 trillion naira gbese. As the leader of the economic team, it was Pastor Ruga, fake Pastor Ruga, who also told us about the bunkering, the stealing of Nigeria crude oil by the PDP. And they gave a figure, by the way, for some of you who don't remember. They gave a figure. They said that Nigeria was losing more than 40% of our crude oil to thieves who steal them. But in 7 years, under these bewilly criminals, Nigeria crude oil, they are now saying that Nigeria is losing over 80% of our crude oil. Some said over 90%. Because Nigeria and Nigeria politicians have managed to use your money to build their own refineries in Niger Republic. Since morning, the more refineries have been built in Niger, they will need more crude oil to service those refineries. Nigeria crude oil is a free-for-all, where Osinbajo, Ekene Shatabandu, is the leader of the community, is the leader of the Economic Council. I remember vividly when Pastor Ruga also visited the Niger Delta and he told the people of Ogoni land, oh, Bere Ogoni, Bere Ogoni. The people of Ogoni land, Osinbajo came to you and he told you that they were going to do the, what did they call them? The cleaning of the oil spillage in Niger Delta, which has rendered the environment in Niger Delta completely eco-unfriendly. Natural habitats, especially natural habitats in those communities, are all gone because of oil spillage, gas flaring, and all that. Fake Pastor Ruga said to the people of Ogoni and all the Niger Delta, he told them that the Boko Haram's government has approved $2 billion for the cleaning of Ogoni land. That was 5 years ago. There is no cleaning. When 2019 election was coming, they decided to put tractors, diggers, and all of them in a place, and they took pictures where they said they are excavating the land. And that was the cleaning. That was the last picture we saw. Fake Pastor Ruga was at the front of that. Now, when the poverty started biting, people started losing their jobs. The economy of Nigeria crashed. Recession 1, recession 2, collapse of national grid, and many other things that caused economic destruction. Pastor Ruga said they needed to lift 100 million people out of poverty. How are you going to lift them out of poverty? Trader money, market money, and all those money that Pastor Ruga, all those Ponzi schemes Pastor Ruga created in order to give the Nigerians another false hope. Being the chairman of the Economic Council, that was so much easier. Let us give the poor Nigerians 5,000 naira and 10,000 naira. Should I make it easier for you? Some of you who are not spending naira, Put it this way. Joe Biden wants to lift 100 million Americans out of poverty. And the way to do it is for, what is the name of this Joe Biden's deputy again? Remind me when you get that. So they say, okay, to lift 100 million Americans out of poverty, let us give them $20 so that we can lift 100 million Americans out of poverty. God bless you, Jare. Kamala Harris. Is it Kamala or Kamala? She's Kamala. Sorry. I apologize to the women folk, by the way. It's just that I'm saying all of these things just offhand as they come. Just pardon me. So Kamala Harris is helping Joe Biden to lift 100 million Americans out of poverty. Let us start giving them $20. Wow! God will bless Joe Biden. God will bless Kamala. Kamala is a mother. Oh, man. Oh, what a wonderful. That is exactly what the Abrodian Buhari idiots, the Mumu Madus, the Bele lecturers, and the Mumu lecturers, that is the legacy that Osinbajo is going to build on. Believe me. Do you get that now? That is the whole working. How to lift Nigerian, they dipped in poverty. How to lift them out of that poverty, give them $20 or give them 12 pounds to 100 million, I mean, to 10 million British, or to 10 million Britons. Yeah. And then, yay, Boris Johnson is celebrating. They say, yeah, you do them now if it's easy. And then you see the real people, the army of the poor people they have created. They will say, wait in your bad do. Osinbajo still try. Do you know what 5,000 can do for some people today? Do you know how much? Do you know some people never see 5,000 in their life? Say, Ọlọ́run ò ní fire fún Osinbajo àti Buhari o àti Tinubu àti gbogbo Ọlọ́run ò ní fire fún wọn. Tẹ́ bá mọ damages tí wọ́n ti fi poverty cause yẹn. Osinbajo continue because their job is to lie.
Creating a tech economy that will provide jobs for millions of young Nigerians. Enhancing our social investment program to a full-scale social welfare program. Completing the promise of lifting 100 million Nigerians out of poverty within this decade. Completing the task of ensuring that all Nigerians, male and female, attend school. Reforming our educational system for relevance to the challenges of this century. Completing the task of universal health coverage for all. And strengthening the capacity of states and local governments to deliver on their respective mandates. Above all, front and center of our efforts will be the provision of jobs and opportunities for our young people. I now most solemnly and respectfully seek the support of fellow Nigerians everywhere in this land and the diaspora, young and old, male and female, in the great and exciting journey that we have ahead of us. I seek your own support. We will, working together, establish by the grace of God the Nigeria of our dreams in a few short years. We will build on the foundation laid by our predecessors. We will need to move with much speed, intentionality, and perseverance towards the vision of a prosperous, stable, and secure nation. I'm convinced beyond doubt that we have the creativity, the courage, the talent, and the resources to be the foremost black nation on earth. Let us now birth the expectations of greatness conceived generations before us. Let us build a Nigeria where the man from Nnewi sees the man in Guzo as his brother, where the woman in Warri sees the woman in Jalingo as her sister, where the love of our nation burns alike in the hearts of boys and girls from Boko to Yenagoa, where everywhere in this land is home for everyone.
I don't know. I'm just laughing listening to that. I don't know if some of you are just angry. Don't worry. You are still going to get angry. Now, gradual. I want us to be going gradual. The audacity to be lying, and he's supposed to be a pastor, talking about getting our children back in school. In 2015, when these rogues came in, the record showed that over 10 million children were out of school children. And the government that they took over from was building Almajiri schools to get those children off streets from begging. These criminals came in. Instead of them building on that, today, the number of out-of-school children in Nigeria has not only doubled, it has now nearly tripled, because over 25 million children who are supposed to be in school are on the streets of Nigeria right now, begging. Some of them are being recruited up north into terrorism. Young children are being recruited into terrorism in the north because they are not in school. And all thanks to this Pastor Ruga. He says something about creating jobs. He says something about building universal health coverage. Pastor Ruga. Dẹ̀bẹ̀rù Ọlọ́run. Takula. Pastor Ruga, takula. Dẹ̀bẹ̀rù Ọlọ́run. Universal health coverage for who? If you are watching me from Nigeria, do you have universal health coverage from Pastor Ruga and Bokwari? That you can walk to any healthcare or any health center and get treated for any kind of what have you? Can you? That's not true. And he said they want to build on that. Something that doesn't exist. And they can't give you this Barack Obama vibes. The women from Boko can see the women from Edo. The women from Aja can see women from Abakaliki. The women from... Baba, calm down. Which one be this Obama vibe? With Boko Haram's... what do they call her? Picture. Baba, calm down. Now, boo-boo. Now, so they boo-boo you in 2015. They give you all these fraudulent vibes that can never be compared. But that's what they do. We have everything figured. I start with the poor people. I love poor people. I care for poor people. That is why I make their population grow, so that we can have the population of more and more poor people. Because I love poor people, man. I don't like rich people. Vote for me. I love you. Okay? So we need to grow your number, all right? We need to get more and more and more people to get into the poverty so that we can have more people. I love you. That's what the pastor is saying. And it is the audacity. It is the insult. They said they will create jobs, 3 million jobs every year. Do you know that if they have been creating that jobs every year, by now, they would have created 21 million jobs. And on the other hand, the effect of the multiplier effect of that is that that could possibly have even created an extra 21 million jobs. You know, instead of having over, over 45% of Nigerians jobless today, you have less people jobless all over the world. I mean, you know. But because Pastor Ruga and gang, Emefiole, Rotifmi, Amechi, and the rest of all those rogues, they love poor people, so they make money from the poor people. Do you want to be loved by Pastor Ruga? Because it's about poverty and fraud. He didn't stop there. Here is the concluding part, where he continued the lie.
And I sat where they sat. I know their hopes and aspirations and their fears. And I believe that in those hopes and aspirations are the seeds for the great Nigeria that we all desire. I believe that the very reason why the Almighty God gave me these experiences, these insights, and these opportunities is that they must be put to the use of our country and its great peoples. Which is why I am today, with utmost humility, formally declaring my intention to run for the office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria on the platform of our great party, the All Progressives Congress. If by the grace of God and the will of the people, I am given the opportunity, then I believe that first we must complete what we have started, radically transforming our security and intelligence architecture, completing the reform of our justice system, focusing on adequate remuneration and welfare of judicial personnel, and ensuring justice for all and the observance of the rule of law, rapidly advancing our infrastructure development, especially power, roads, railways, and broadband connectivity, providing an excellent environment for businesses to thrive, taking the agricultural revolution to the next level, especially mechanization and developing the farm-to-table value chain, making sure that the government, its agencies and regulators serve the business community, creating a tech economy that will provide jobs for millions of young Nigerians, enhancing our social investment program to a full-scale social welfare program, completing the promise of lifting 100 million Nigerians out of poverty within this decade, completing the task of ensuring that all Nigerians, male and female, attend school, reforming our educational system for relevance to the challenges of this century.
We will work with you to build a Nigeria that is not corrupt. I bring you a message of hope.
We are going to spend a lot of resources on education.
We know them, so don't let anybody blackmail you into anything at all. He's talking about what he's going to do. All those things he mentioned, why are they not doing it now? Why are they not providing for the military? Why are they not doing all of that now? Why are they not, a lot of questions, Abi. Don't worry. Even Tinubu don't disown him. Tinubu said, I don't get any son with the contest against me. Because after the governors met with him last night, the governors went to Lagos today to go and see Tinubu. And somebody just mistakenly asked, your son has declared. He said, I don't have any son. I don't have any son that is called declaring, my friend.
My mission is to seek collaboration, support, encouragement of my party, the APC, for my ambition and my mission to become the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you. Your son has just declared.
Thank you. I have no son grown enough to declare.
He has no son grown up enough to declare. So he disowned Osinbajo right away. Whatever anybody want to say, is not my son. No. I beg you. Not my son. Who cares? Shameless people. Cold-hearted people. You all remember the Dapchi and you all remember the Chibok girls in 2014. Now these guys, like NFT, like Referendum, they minted it so well that you would think it was Jonathan that kidnapped them. Dabi? Now look at them today. You won't believe that those they kidnapped on Kaduna, Abuja railway, they are still with their captors. And their captors are saying, now only Buhari must answer them because now Buhari knows why they are doing what they are doing. Boko Haram. And these ones are jumping up and down, running. Everybody is running. Amechi is running. Emefiole is running. Now, Pastor Ruga is running. Who else? Okorocha is running. Devulu Maye is running. Who else again? In their camp, they Abi. But if Tinubu is crawling, Abina is peeing, whatever it is. The people who they kidnap on Kaduna Abuja Expressway, they are still with their captors, just in case if these rogues have completely forgotten, which I believe they have. And just before you listen to this, the reason why I always tell people is this, that may Nigeria not happen to you or happen to the people you know. And you see in this Nigeria that you have now, everybody know my get breakfast. Now everybody go chop them. When you go chop them, now when we don't know. And if it be anywhere, that's why I said, don't mock anybody, don't laugh at them. Now that you are still alive, we'll find ourselves, gather together, beat them. That's what we go do, and we go gather ourselves together, beat them. Do you understand that now? If not, look at this. People who are just minding their own business, possibly who believe that, well, you know, Nigeria can never break. They are with Boko Haram. I know they mock them, but like I told you, many of you, my friends, if you don't believe anything I tell you, if you decide to believe the lies that they have told you about Nigeria for so long, before you can then understand that you are just a victim in the waiting. If I tell you and you don't believe me, when you become a victim, I will use you as an example to others like you, the one Nigerians. If nothing is done, when you become a victim, I will use you as an example like this.
In my own case, I am a staff of INEC. I'm pleading with the government to please come to our assistance. Students, and I'm talking on behalf of the students. Government should please hear our cry and come to our aid. Thank you.
Which school are you from?
I'm a student of Ghana State University.
What is your
And
name?
What
is your name?
I'm Osinbajo.
From which state?
Ghana State.
Where are you studying?
I'm schooling in Ghana State University.
Which course?
Agriculture.
In next to left. Women.
I'm Gladys Brume, an ex-staff of Defense Industries Corporation of Nigeria. What happened on Monday was needless if the government would have a listening ear and